Tuesday. I hope everybody had a good long Labor Day weekend. I got a lot of house cleaning done, organizing, sort of decorating for fall. And then Tim and I went and bought a new mattress because ours has been hurting our backs, and spent way more money than I wanted to. And then we took our old bed off, noticed some things were wrong with our frame, and kind of like fixed it with our frame and put our old bed back on, because we did all of this in between his calls yesterday, and we didn't have time to let the new bed like inflate because it's one of those roll-up mattresses. And we realized, maybe this was not our mattress all along, and maybe it was the freaking frame. So now we're trying to figure out what to do. If we should try to return the mattress, or, I mean, we've had this one for over 4 years, so like, you know, it shouldn't be terrible, but yeah. Oh, and I got my ears re-pierced. I've had my ears pierced since I was in, I don't know, middle school. But I really have not worn anything for, I don't know, at least 5 years, if not more. I even had to wear clip-ons to my wedding. And my sister's wedding is coming up, and I really did not feel like having to find clip-ons again. I was like, okay, it's time I just get them either reopened or re-pierced. So I went to a tattoo shop yesterday, and had their piercer re-pierce them, which is funny because like out of all of my piercings, so I've had my lip, my Monroe, my tongue, my nose, my belly button, 3 lobe piercings, 2 on this side, like up here, my cartilage, my tragus, and then on this side again 3, and then 2, my rook I have, and I have an industrial. So I am not shy to piercings, and this is the first time I've ever gotten my lobes done with a straight needle and not a gun. And if you guys don't know, the gun is absolutely terrible for your skin. Never ever get a piercing done with a gun. Always get it done with a straight needle. It's so much better for you. But I was young when I did all of those, at least my lobe ones, because obviously all of the other ones were done with straight needles. But anyway, when I went yesterday, it was just so funny how already I can tell the difference of like the healing process. If you've ever gotten your ears pierced with a gun on your lobe, then you know it throbs, it gets hot, it's sensitive to the touch. I'm very good with piercings and needles and all that stuff, like anyways. Oh gosh, you guys shifted, I'm sorry. Is that better? But like I hardly even felt it. It's like a 24 gauge needle, like it's teeny tiny. So 1, I hardly felt it as he was piercing, and 2, there was no redness, there was no throbbing, there was no heat coming from my ears, and I was able to sleep on both sides last night totally fine. So that is not what this video is about today, but I've already been talking for 4 minutes about that. But yeah, that's what I did this weekend. And I wanted to talk about something interesting, or at least I found interesting. I did not hit my 10,000 steps a day past 31st, just because I gave myself a little bit of a break, and then I've been so busy decluttering my house, which yes is still a lot of movement, but it was a lot of like, okay, going to one room, gathering a bunch of stuff, sitting down and going through all of it rather than like walking around. So I did a lot of movement this weekend, but I didn't do a lot of like walking, if that makes sense. Our weather was also absolutely terrible, and so I didn't even get outside to do any walking. But I noticed a few things. The first day that I did not get 10, okay, sorry you guys, this is just gonna keep shifting down. The first day I did not get the 10,000 steps in. Towards the end of the night, I was really, really unsettled. Like, I wouldn't say anxious, but I just felt very uneasy, like jittery. And at first I was like, what is going on? I mean, Tim was on call, so like he wasn't home a lot this weekend, and I always get kind of like bored, obviously, when he's not home, especially on the weekends. So I thought maybe it had something to do with that, where I was just kind of like, okay, there's nothing on TV that I want to watch. Like, I just kind of was like walking around a little bit downstairs, but didn't feel like going out. Like, I could have went out to see some of my friends, but like I just didn't want to. And so I just felt very like unsettled. And then I realized, wonder if this has anything to do with my steps, because the next day, the same thing kind of happened, except this time I was like really snacky. Like, I wanted to eat everything and anything, and after I would eat, I wouldn't feel super satisfied. And I was like, interesting. And so I started thinking about it more, and I was like, I wonder if it's because, like, the first day, after the 31st, so I guess obviously the first, I only got like 6,000 steps in. And so I think my body was like, whoa, usually we have like more energy to reach our 10,000. Like, why are we just sitting down? And then like the next day, I think it was around the same, or yeah, 8,000 maybe. And I could tell that my body was just like, what's going on here? Like, why are we not getting outside and moving? So it's very interesting to me. Very, very interesting. Like I said, I believe I said it in my last day video of, 10,000 steps a day. I'm not going to, like, it's not going to be a goal of mine anymore to reach the 10,000 steps a day, but I would like to still do the same amount of movement. So like my walk in the morning, my walk in the afternoon, and things like that. So if I hit 10,000, that's great. If I don't, but I've still done those walks, then I'll be satisfied, if that makes sense. But it did get me thinking about, okay, what are my September goals? And I don't like to set like resolutions and things like that in the beginning of the year, but I do like to set goals. But sometimes I have to be careful with the goals that I set, because they can become like obsessive, and then, or they can be too far-fetched to reach, and then I get burnt out very easily. So like, that's another reason why I'm shocked that I was able to do the challenge, because normally I don't stick to things like that. But like genuinely, this is the first thing I've said, hey, I'm going to do this for X amount of days, and I did it every day, which is why it was such a big deal to me, on top of the fact that 10,000 steps a day is like pretty cool. So I'm trying to be careful when I come up with like my goals for September, but I do think, like, I don't know, that got me in the mood to want to try to do something for X amount of days. Now, we're obviously already on September 3rd, so I can't call it like, challenge for every day of September, because I've obviously already missed 2 days before I've even come up with one, I guess. I was thinking about trying to do the None to Run challenge for September, which is like the running thing that I told you guys about. But I'm having a lot of pain in my hip that I've had since last summer, and that day that I did do that little bit of running, like the first day of that program, it aggravated it a lot, and I just don't want to push my body to do something that it's not like ready consistently for. And if this pain continues, I mean, I've been dealing with it on and off for a year already, but it is getting a little bit worse, then I'll obviously have to go see somebody for it. But, you know, I've scratched that off of my list because I don't want to get too, like, ambitious, you know what I mean? Like, too quickly. As of this morning, I am down to 226.4 or 7, which is 79 point something pounds. So, like, I am really, 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 really happy about that. And I just know the more weight I lose, hopefully the more, like, little aches and pains. I mean, I'm very thankful I don't have any knee pain. I've never struggled with knee pain. This is the first time I've ever struggled with, like, hip pain. So I just know, obviously, as I continue to move and as I lose weight, you know, that's saving my joints and stuff even more. So I'm happy about that. So yeah, I was trying to think, okay, what are my goals for September? And honestly, I think they're just gonna be simple. Like, I think I'm just gonna keep them simple, to trying to hit my 2 walks a day, and mainly kind of having it be more centered around habits for my home. Like, trying to do, and I've done this before when I was trying to do, like, the 75 hard, but trying to do, like, 10-second tidies, staying on top of, like, smaller loads of laundry and then folding them right away. You know, I don't know, like, making the bed. It's hard about making the bed in the mornings because I'm not usually the last one out of bed anymore. I used to always be the last one out of bed. But my husband now is. So, like, I wouldn't be able to be the one to keep up with that. My husband would have to be, and, you know, I'm sure he would do it for me, but I'm trying to think of, like, goals for myself. So, like, I don't know if that one would work. What else is there? Staying more on top of, like, skincare and things like that. And kind of just, like, overall, like I said in one of my other videos, I just really, really needed, like, a refresh. And so I want to really just stay on top of, like, the freshness of the refresh, if that makes any sense at all. So those are kind of my goals, is just getting my movement in, 2 walks a day, doing my 10-second tidy in every room of my house, staying on top of, like, skincare, and trying to just keep in the mindset of, like, fresh and tidy. Like, you know, if I have to vacuum every day, I'll vacuum every day. Like, basically not letting things get, not letting things get, I don't want to say bad, but, like, I don't want to let things pile up anymore and then have it be like like I have to do a full day of cleaning. Like, I want to just stay on top of things. So, just want to implement, like for instance, my mom, every single night, she does her, what I consider a 10-second tidy of the kitchen, and she wipes down all the counters, and, like, everything's in the dishwasher. She runs the dishwasher every night, even if it's not, like, a full, you know, load. You know, she does laundry multiple times a week. Like, I want to get on that habit. That way I stay on top of them, instead of letting, you know, the laundry just pile up, and then when I run out of things, that's when I do laundry. You know what I mean? So those are, like, my goals. Would love to maybe try to do more, like, outdoor activities this month, especially now that it's somewhat cooling off. I think it's going to be, like, a high of 78 today, which is so nice, because last week it was, like, a high of 90 to 95 every day. And yeah, just kind of keep up with what I've been doing eating wise, food wise. And that's really all I got for you. what are some of your goals for September? I know Katie is doing a little September challenge over on her channel, partnered along with another YouTuber that she is friends with. And yeah, it's just, I love hearing other people's goals because sometimes it makes me think of things that like I didn't think of. Weight wise, I mean, I'm so dang close. I'm so dang close to that 221. So like, I'm at, again, 226 point something. So like, is it crazy of me to think that I want to try to hit that by the end of September? I don't know if I'm going to make it a goal, but I will make it a, like a want, you know, like I want to hit it by the end of September. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, that's about all I have for you guys today. And I'm still going to sit down and do the, like basically my experience of 10,000 steps, and kind of what it did to my body and what I noticed and all of that stuff. So if I have time, I'll film that tonight and post it tomorrow. So definitely keep your eye out for that. But that's about all. I'm stuck in traffic, so that's fun. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a great Tuesday.